Hello all, this is Sandy here. Today we're going to see the recipe for a very rich and sophisticated dessert called as Nanaimo bar. The first bite into this dessert and I had to pop it into my favorites list. And I want you all to do the same too. So let's see how this is done. The first step is to melt butter. Here I have taken 100 grams of unsalted butter kept at room temperature. Butter kept at room temperature will melt quicker and the weighing will be perfect too. To this you need to add 1/3 cup of unsweetened cocoa powder. So the cocoa powder, once it is melted with the butter, you can add the next ingredient, which is 1/4 cup of granulated white sugar. You need to keep stirring this mixture in order to incorporate all the three ingredients together. And remember to always keep the flame on low, never on medium or high, because that will tend to burn the cocoa powder, which will alter the taste of the dish. Once it becomes a uniform thick mixture, you can switch off the flame and allow it to cool down. Take a large mixing bowl and add 1/2 cup of powdered almond and cashew put together and 1/2 cup of biscuits. It could be any biscuit. Here I have used Bourbon and milk bikis put together. Also add 1 cup of shredded fresh coconut. To this mixture, you need to add your cool down butter chocolate mixture and start whisking it using a hand whisk. Continue to hand whisk it till you're satisfied with the mixing. Ensure that there are no lumps and everything becomes one whole mass. Now take a baking tray or any container. I have used a 8x8 baking tray and I have lined it with butter paper so that there is easy unmolding of this dish. Now you add the mixture that you have prepared and press it down firmly using your fingers. This is the bottom layer of the triple layer dessert that we are making. You allow this layer to set in the refrigerator for 15 minutes before you add the next layer. To the same mixing bowl, you add 100 grams of melted butter. To this butter, you add 1 cup of powdered sugar. I powdered the granulated sugar in a mixer and I have used this for the recipe. You can also use icing sugar or any store-bought powdered sugar for the same. Once the ingredient has been mixed, add another cup of powdered sugar. Remember I told you how rich this recipe is. That's Cooper, our doggy. He just couldn't be away from the kitchen table, so he had to be a part of this recipe. Once you have mixed it well using the hand whisk, you can continue with the electric whisk. For those who do not have an electric whisk, you need to continue hand whisking for another 15 to 20 minutes. The next ingredient is 2 tablespoons of custard powder. I have used a store-bought custard powder and whisk it well till it forms this velvety creamy mixture. So this will be our second layer. Please ensure that the bottom layer is firm before you add this second layer. Now that you have added this layer, you have to flatten it out into a level using a spatula or a spoon as I have done here. Make sure that the corners and the edges are not ignored because every part of this dessert has to be relished. Once you have spread it out evenly, you can pop this tray back into the refrigerator for another 15 minutes for the second layer to set in. Now for the third layer, you have to double boil chocolate. Here I have used semi-sweet milk compound. To this you add 2 tablespoons of melted butter in order to make it as a rich and creamy paste. So you continue to double boil it. You can also microwave it depending on your convenience till it becomes this velvety texture. Once you take out the tray from the refrigerator, please make sure that the second layer has set in firmly. If not, the chocolate layer will blend into that layer, not giving us the results that we need to achieve. Once the chocolate has been added, you spread it evenly using the same spoon or spatula and pop it back into the refrigerator for 2 minutes. Remember not to refrigerate it for more than 2 minutes, if not the chocolate will break when we cut into it. Once the refrigeration is done, unmold the dessert and remove the baking paper or the butter paper which we have wrapped the dessert with. I was so eager to unveil that dish and reveal that beautiful triple layer. Okay, I'm now ready to cut into this triple layer beauty. So you should be very careful when you break the top layer. If you're a little careless, it will lead to a crack in the chocolate layer, which we do not want. So once you break into the entire triple layer, you can make it into cubes before you serve it. This wonder dessert is now ready to eat. You can store this comfortably at room temperature for around 3 to 4 days, or if you want to store it for around 2 weeks, put it into the refrigerator. Happy cooking and eating, you guys. And oh yeah, there's Cooper again.